guys, it is Dani'i and welcome to this video on the tropics. And so guys, in this video we have a little bit to talk about. We have to talk about that tropical wave that is located to the southeast of the Windward Islands, and also over in the Eastern Pacific we do have that area given a high chance to develop into our next named storm ENRIQUE very soon. And then we will also talk about GFS model. Is it still trending towards something developing early in July? And so guys, before I go into details, okay guys, and so first let us kickstart things with that disturbance over in the Eastern Pacific. So as you're seeing, we have that X and actually see that arrow pointing towards that shaded region. And the reason for that is because the low isn't in an area right now where it is completely favorable for it to develop, but once it emerges into that shaded red region, that is where we're expecting some development. So most likely this will occur by the end of this week or so guys, but as you're seeing as of right now, given a high 80% chance to develop. And so this might be a threat to the southwestern coastline of Mexico, and so if you're there, you want to monitor the progress of this and keep up with the latest. And so guys, now let us hop over into the Atlantic. And so here we have our disturbance. So the chance is still at 30% from last night, so there is a 30% chance of this thing here developing. And actually the shower and thunderstorm activity has increased with the system here, and so even though development might not take place, it is going to be bringing some inclement weather to portions of the Caribbean, guys. And so let's take a look at satellite view. And so there we have it. So it has definitely increased in all that shower and thunderstorm activity. And so guys, if you're in the Windward Islands especially, you really want to look out for the system. And I would actually say all of the Lesser Antilles, both the Leeward and the Windward Islands, because the system is going to be moving more to the west and then to the west northwest. So it's going to be making a slight northward like track, and because the system is so disorganized, the shower and thunderstorm activity is likely to be quite widespread, guys. So let's just hope that the system doesn't cause very significant impacts in those areas. But if you're there, please take necessary precautions and stay safe and be prepared for maybe a pretty rainy weekend. And so guys, now let us move on to the GFS model. So is it still anticipating something to develop? Well, let's actually talk about that right now. And so here we have it. So this is Sunday the 27th of June, so this coming Sunday, and we don't see anything much going on. But take a look at in the vicinity of the Azores. So a low pressure system there, a broad low pressure system. So could that be a subtropical storm trying to develop? But take a look over in the Eastern Pacific. We do have a 948 millibar low pressure system. So that is a major hurricane just off the southwestern coast of Mexico that the GFS is showing. And again, this is by Sunday the 27th. Let's go further out. And so here we have it. So this is by 29th of June on Tuesday. And so we're seeing here that we still have that low pressure area going around the Azores. And over in the Gulf of Mexico, the GFS is showing that what we saw as a 948 millibar low pressure system is probably being pulled into the Gulf of Mexico. And so there we have another system, a 994 millibar low pressure system, making its way a bit eastward. And so let's go further out here. And so we are seeing that it is showing that system that's being pulled into the Gulf moving back into Mexico, and then that 989 millibar low pressure system probably making landfall, guys. And so this would be something quite interesting. Back-to-back storms for Mexico. I mean, that would be absolutely devastating, guys. So again, this is just a prediction. It doesn't have to be the outcome, but let's wait and see what's going to happen. And so let's look at the Euro model, and this is by Friday the 25th of June. So this coming Friday, and they are picking up on that low pressure system over in the Eastern Pacific developing, and also just off the coast of Africa. That looks quite interesting. So going further out, this is Sunday the 27th, and this is potentially a major hurricane just off the coastline of Mexico, guys. And so here we have the Euro model hopping onto the scenario of us definitely having development in the EPAC and showing that wave moving westward across the North Atlantic. So going to the 30th of June, now we see that we're not seeing development taking place in terms of that wave. So most likely environmental conditions are quite unsupportive of us to have development at that time, guys. And so guys, we have our models here showing different scenarios. The GFS is no longer going with the with the prediction of us having something developing in the Caribbean, making its way to the Gulf and making landfall along the Gulf Coast. So here we are having different scenarios, guys. And so whatever our models are showing, however, it does not have to be the outcome, because of course things can change. Changes are inevitable in terms of the weather, guys, and so we have to wait and see what will happen. But one thing to be almost certain of is the fact that we will definitely have development taking place in the Eastern Pacific just off Mexico, guys. And so it is likely that if that system does develop, it will acquire the name ENRIQUE. And so, guys, now let us move on to the favorability for us to have development taking place. So first up, let us take a look at the ocean temperature map. And so we are seeing here that ocean temperatures are definitely supportive in the vicinity of that wave to the east-southeast of the Windward Islands for the Gulf of Mexico, and even over in the EPAC. But in terms of the wind shear, so let's go on to that now. So this is a map showing the shear, and the different colors here show different shear intensities. We have the reds meaning unfavorable shear, the greens meaning favorable, and the yellows meaning neutral. And so take a look at that. So we have that tropical wave given a 30% chance to develop, being in a region now starting to encounter some unfavorable wind shears. We're seeing those reds just at the northern section of the system, but most of it is still in some of those yellows and greens, which means that it is not completely in a hostile environment just yet, and it really has until about Thursday or so to get its act together before chances start to completely diminish for it to develop, guys. Across most of the Caribbean, we're seeing unfavorable shear, and the Gulf of Mexico, mainly the western section, is dominated by unfavorable shear, but the eastern section we have a bit of favorable conditions right there. But we're not seeing any systems in the Gulf right now that could potentially develop. And again, guys, what the GFS model is showing does not have to be the outcome. What Euro is showing does not have to be the outcome. So we really have to wait and see what is going to eventually happen, guys. And so just another reminder, guys, and so it is likely that we could have ENRIQUE developing in the Eastern Pacific very soon. And also we have that tropical wave that really has very limited time to develop, but regardless, it could still affect portions of the Lesser Antilles with some very inclement weather conditions going into the end of this week. And so, guys, that is it for this updated video, and if you found it to be quite informative, please give a thumbs up, and you can also share your thoughts in the comments or ask a question. I'll try to respond as best and as soon as I can. And just remember to always weather wise, and of course I will keep you updated on the latest as time goes by.